It's hard to believe it's been 20 years ago we lost Luther Vandross. It just seems like yesterday. It was um, coming up on the weekend, and it's like one of those things that just hit you hard and hard, especially if you were a fan of his music as a singer, as a songwriter, as a producer. Um, you know how he started off Sesame Street and the Apollo, and he did session work with Roberta Flack and David Bowie, of course, most people know, and of course Chic. And then there was the film, the documentary on his life and everything. Marcus Miller was talking, Byron Miller was talking, various collaborators. Uh, wrote to me the last truly great song for Aretha Franklin to jump to it. That was Still Funky. Him and Marcus Miller tore that, put a foot in that. He went through his weight issues, his personal life issues. He always wanted to be accepted. He was considered too black by the industry. He did get them Grammys and all that, but he wanted that long for that number one song. It's ironic that Kendrick Lamar and SZA with Luther, the tribute for This World's Mine, which was number one on the pop charts. Think about that, 20 years. And the industry was very cold like that, how they did him. Because he was one of the greatest artists ever, a singer, musician, however you want to call it. And, he went through a lot of politics with Sony Music and a lot of with the industry and, a lot of stuff that went on. Dance with My Father, which was a very potent song. But his cover versions, I mean, A House Is Not a Home. Dionne Warwick did it with Burt Bacharach. Luther took it, never gave it back. Ooh, and when you heard that, it's funny because my aunt in St. Louis, let's go to her house. She used to have his albums. She was like one of the first people I know that got me into him, and she bought everything he came out with, and that always stood to me because that loyalty that was built in of what he meant. So when I went to St. Louis, I could always look through her albums, her uncle's albums collection, and Luther was always, and that was something that stayed in my mind. It was funny because when you're growing up, his songs were like 8-9 minutes, and they seemed like they went on for days. And he's like, can I fast forward this? But when you go through breakups, divorces, reflections, those songs don't last long enough. When you hear a song like Superstar Until You Come Back to Me, or If Only for One Night and Creeping, and